DeMarcus, on this episode, we have back on the show 2 times. He has the best villain comeback since Frieza, who's now one of Goku's friends. You know,
I
this
hate that.
podcast like hated this guy, but he has redeemed himself in the eyes of BGE. We are welcoming back.
I think you've been the only person on the podcast that said they hated Gordon. Whether that's the truth
No, it was
remains
all
to
of
be
us.
seen.
It was me, you, and Lorante, who is
It
not
wasn't. It
here so
definitely
that
wasn't
we
me.
can't. No, because, okay, look, y'all were like sucking his dick every episode of the podcast when he wasn't on. And I was the only
Wow.
one that was like, let's try to bring him on. And then
No, you
and then
weren't.
Gordon, yes, I was. And
Let's
then
go
Gordon could
back.
never come on.
Let's go back to the
Gordon could never
episode.
come on. So I was like, he don't even want to be on this show. He don't even like this show. But then y'all continued to suck his dick. So, after a while,
Gordon, from
it
the
delved
first
into a
time I told
hatred.
Gordon we was gonna have a podcast, Gordon was about it. Gordon has been a true friend throughout this entire thing. I'm sure if we had asked for a donation, Gordon would have been there for us.
Yeah, I don't remember doing any of that. So,
Well, hello. Thank you for the introduction. I appreciate it. It's good to be back.
As you see, your presence is very contentious. There are those that everyone has strong feelings about you.
everyone loves
every direction.
you, but on this show, you've had like a Frieza villain arc where he was like destroying the world, and now he's Goku's friend and he hangs out with Gohan and everybody. So, welcome back to the show, Gordon. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, it's a beautiful day in Chicago. I'm just coming from a nice brunch with some friends that were visiting from Seattle. So, I feel like my heart is full.
That's what's up. I love that. I love that feeling where your heart is full. You just feel like at peace and like you're doing all the things you're supposed to do. You're where you're supposed to be. All that stuff. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So,
how are you?
Is there anything new with you since we've last talked? Well, on the show, anything you want to share?
No, I mean, still just chugging along at work. I've been sick a lot recently. I got the flu, and then I got strep, and then I got food poisoning back to back to back.
Oh my God, I love food poisoning right now.
Yeah, food poisoning, y'all. Make sure
the best.
You check. Make sure you check the inspection history for some of these places you go to eat at. Because I was casually talking about this place that I got food poisoning from. It's called the Pasta Bowl in Chicago. And I'm not trying to roll them under the bus because some people might be able to stomach them. But I've gone there twice and both times have I gotten sick.
Oh my God, mail me some food right now. I've been wanting food poisoning since we went to Bethune-Cookman in school.
Why do you want it?
Because all you do is poop and throw up. After I got food poisoning, I saw my abs. I was defined. I was so skinny. That was the best.
That is.
Oh no! And then I got it around COVID time, and after that, I must have been 20 pounds, and my body looked banging. And then afterwards, all I wanted to do was eat vegetables.
Muscles.
What you say, DeMarcus?
You could just work those muscles to
oh my God.
You want your abs to
anyway,
show, and you want your definition. You could just work out, actually work out instead of just running for hours.
And do you work out still?
I just got back into it, bro. My hammies are sore today.
Yeah, I can tell you were there was a lapse in time because that belly was looking very Santa Claus again.
My belly be bellying no matter what time of year it is, whether I'm working out or not. You gonna get this round brown.
DeMarcus, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a pretty cool week. A lot of tough conversations in the relationship, but we're having a good time now.
DeMarcus, there were some tough conversations last week. I mean,
and it's all residual.
Is everything
it's all
okay?
Residual. It's all residual from that. Sometimes things take longer to iron out, but what's important is that you stick in there. You're willing to have those conversations with your partner. And you want to make sure that they know that you are there with them. It's you and them against the issue, and not you versus them.
Yeah.
What else? What else been going
That
on?
sounds like a lot to me. But
I'm sitting out a pool this tomorrow. I'm sitting out a pool game. Last week I told y'all I'm on the pool team at work. I've lost 4 games in a row at this point, so I'm sitting out this week because they're trying to make the tournament. And I was like, you know what? I volunteered to not be a part of this game, so y'all can make the tournament, and then I'll come back and lose some more.
DeMarcus, I need you to practice some. I need you to buy a pool
I do be
table.
practicing. I do be practicing. Like what it is like when we go to the matches, like I get in my head and I be nervous. Maybe not nervous, but I get in my head. I be overthinking shots.
What you
Like,
nervous about?
but last game, like I said, not nervous. I overthink the shots. Last game, I started drinking before my game, and like I was a little loose. And if I had like kept up drinking the whole time, I'd have won that game. And actually, the last game I lost, like it was shit luck really, because like the last ball I made in, I scratched on it too, and it was crazy. Like it didn't even scratch in the hole it went in. It scratched like on it, like banked a few times and then scratched. And I was like, what the fuck was that? But yeah, the dude I was playing last time was hella lucky. But yeah, that's the last time. We talking about the future. Next game I play, I'm winning because I'm taking shots the whole match. Yeah, and today, like I told y'all, I'm at the Black Joy Parade in Oakland. So things sound a little different on my end. That's why. Yeah,
What is the
it's
Black Joy Parade
so the Black
conference?
Joy Parade it's more of a festival that they put on in Oakland, just to celebrate like Black Joy. So a lot of I'm at a friend's apartment complex right now, and they're having like a little their own little like private thing for residents and their friends, like a Black Joy fest. And it's all about just like, Black people getting together, selling your merchandise, meeting other Black people, interacting, come out, be Black and be happy. Whatever that looks like for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like me and my girls, we were sitting around here earlier, just like making up stories about people, like who looks like they date Black people, who looks like they date white people. And we determined that there is a like specific hairstyle where that a girl will wear, and it's like, yo, this girl dates white men and white men only. I can't really describe the hairstyle because I was like, it looked like she just has natural hair, and she was like, nah. She's like, that's a very specific kind of natural hair.
Well, then what's the hairstyle?
Yeah, like it was like a little updo type deal. She has natural hair, but she had it all like pinned up, so that like it was like a looser Killmonger type of deal.
All right.
Like she got curls on top, but everything else is straight.
I can't picture what you're telling me, but I suppose
yeah. I mean,
I want to say that the number one hairstyle for Black men who date white women is dreads. So DeMarcus, you're not looking
nah,
too
that's
good
not
over
it.
here.
That's
No, it
not it.
is.
Now the number one hairstyle for Black men who date white women is unkempt. Like you don't do anything to your hair. Like the hairline is all over the place. There I am. The hairline's all over the place. Like it ain't shaped up or nothing. It's like you got a little fro and like you just don't take care of it.
Well, that's for
like the Black guys who get haircuts like every 6 months, like white people do. Those are the ones that date white women.
Well, that's for Black women too, like Candace Owens. She doesn't ever do her hair, but if Black people were to do their hair, then the type of hairstyle they would be dreads. So
I don't think so.
I'm not making the rules here. I'm just telling
I
you.
don't think so. I think you're making
what
this
the
up.
deuces said. Gordon, what do you
But
think?
anyway, Jerry, how you been doing, man?
I was gonna say I haven't had a haircut in like over a year and a half, so
I mean,
think it's
but
different
you're
for
like
gays,
doing
Jerry.
something with it.
yeah.
Oh, and you date white people.
I do
You
date
do
white
date white men.
So our theory is correct.
Yeah. Them. But you get like you said you haven't had a haircut in like 6 months.
in like I got a trim in October. That was the last time I went to the barbershop.
Okay, so it's on the way to being 6 months.
Yeah, and I also just line up my own hair, and then I do like a protective style every now and then. Like I'm gonna get twists in a couple weeks.
The way your hair looks, Gordon, me and my girl had determined it's like, oh, like this person prefers their partner to be Black, but they'll date whatever.
That's about true. That makes sense.
And we can see it in your hair.
All natural.
So Marcus, so you asked how I was doing. I'm doing fine. Let me put you both on to this brand new show on Netflix. It is a remake of a classic that we all used to watch together at DeMarcus's house. It's called Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's the first live action series that has been released for.
It's the first live action Avatar that's ever been made.
No, in like
No. It is the first
no, because there was
Avatar
a movie.
Okay,
Let's talk about it.
No,
right
there was
now.
not.
Why do people hate this movie so much? Because I saw the movie and I was there when everybody hated it. But like I went into that movie knowing that it was not going to be like the cartoon. Like it was obvious that that movie was not going to be like the cartoon.
But
from
we still
the
expected
trailers.
it to be good.
Yeah, even different than the cartoon, it wasn't good. So I think we can all agree on that.
The live action show that we're watching now is good. It's different from the cartoon. There are a lot of things that they like take out and replace and like, you know, do something else with, but it's still good.
Yeah, it's very, very good. The movie.
Wait, so everyone watched it, right? Everyone watched it.
I haven't finished it. Okay. I just finished the Omashu episode.
I finished it like yesterday.
Yeah, I finished it as well.
It just came out like Monday or Friday, didn't it?
Thursday.
It's only like 7 episodes.
But each one is an hour long.
It's 45 minutes.
And that's less than a day.
So it's 8.
That's a work shift.
Episodes. DeMarcus, you can do it if you believe in yourself.
Yo, I keep getting in trouble at work for like being distracted. So like on my phone or like listening to podcasts.
You get in trouble for real?
You get in trouble?
Yeah, bro, like they be like I had my performance review earlier this week, and that was one of the things in my performance review. It's just like, oh, you just got to decrease distractions because like we see you on your phone or like, you know, like listen to a podcast, we see it on your computer, and it's like, you know, you're still producing work, but the perception is that you're not producing work. And I'm just like,
you need to go on Indeed. You need to go on Indeed and LinkedIn because who are you not producing? Like who is perceiving this? Your fellow coworkers?
Yeah.
While you are producing work.
So I used to watch like shows while I work. I like put on a show on the side. And like people came by and was like, oh, like some of the shows you're watching, they're a little offensive. Like, you know, other people are getting uncomfortable. And I was like, okay, cool, that makes sense.
What shows were you watching? Real sex? Like, what are you doing?
I was watching anime. You know,
anime?
Yeah. So, you know, they'll see like a big titty, like we talked, like the episode we got coming up, like, you know, bigger titties equal power. So they'll see a big titty anime girl come up and start jumping around, and they be like,
"But you wouldn't see her areola.
Her titties are too big."
Are you watching this on full screen, or like can you keep it?
No, I'm watching this like so. Imagine like a 3-screen setup where like I got 2 big ass screens, and like my little laptop is off to the side. Like I'm watching it on my laptop. So like you gotta come look at my laptop to see the shit.
Yeah, you need to.
And I got work up on 2 screens.
Are you going into work every day now?
3 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
but anyway,
even listening to podcasts, I begin to talk to about because like it'll be like I listen to Shits and Gigs podcast, and like it's just like 2 guys sitting in a chair talking to each other, and they'll be like, "Oh, it looks like DeMarcus is listening to a podcast all day."
All right.
Jared, Gordon, do you get this kind of feedback at work?
No, because I explicitly told my manager and my team when I was interviewing that I don't like micromanagers and like please don't sit here and try to tell me that you know how I do my time better than I do my time.
Exactly.
You know, it's about production. Like especially if the feedback is like you're still producing, then like that's the only thing you should be concerned about as my manager or my teammate is if I'm producing. Now, if what your feedback really is, because if it's coded, is that they don't feel like you're producing at a certain amount or rate that they are, then address that, you know. But what I'm doing,
because that's something go ahead. Sorry.
Now I was just gonna say like what I'm doing throughout my day, throughout my work day, if I have free time, and I learned this from my first manager at Microsoft. Like he told me, like when you have the time, enjoy it because like work is like ebbs and flows. You go through seasons where you're like super busy. You might be super busy during the holiday season or something, and you like are working long hours. But when you have downtime and those times where your like workload is kind of light and you can go to lunch with some friends in the middle of the day or something, like enjoy those moments. You should be doing that in order to be an effective employee. It's not about always being on.
Yeah.
So
And so that's the mindset that I have. Because I think you and I have had this kind of conversation before. And that's apparently not the mindset at my company. Because I feel like it feel like it's inching more and more toward like we want you to be producing, like firing on all six cylinders all the time. And I'm like, you're not gonna get that out of me.
well, how is your design work allocated? Is it based on hours?
So we do points, which is not strictly based on hours. It's
Got
like
it.
how many points of work can you get done? And I'm getting like 8 to 10 points of work done every sprint.
Mm.
So, and that's on par with every other designer. And I would say that like if there's six designers, I'm like number three as far as production.
Then I feel like you're in your right. Because
Mhm.
who's giving you this feedback? Your manager?
My manager, and then I got it from my the VP of UX, or I think that's what the title,
Mm.
the VP of
I don't
product.
know. I feel like you're in your right to maybe talk about what it means with managing your time and like how
Hmm.
you want to be respected as an employee. Like, especially if you're producing, like if you're doing the sprint cycle and you're doing like 8 to 10 and you're producing what you should be doing. Like, I feel like that's feedback that's not really like about performance. That's like personal
Hmm.
and it's weird.
Exactly, during Black History Month as well. And Demarcus, you need to like, aren't you Gen Z? Like, you need to tell them
No, I'm a
straight up.
millennial.
No, you're
Gen
not.
Z.
Like, you need to tell them straight up, like, you are not going to be put in this box to work, 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 even when you're at work. Like, who does that? Like, okay,
Okay.
and you need to go on LinkedIn and Indeed and spend an hour a day.
I mean,
So,
obviously, be
Yeah.
like be bureaucratic about it. Like, don't just be coming in
Yeah.
got
Be
some LinkedIn. But
democratic. Yeah.
I don't know. I just that's something that I don't
yeah, that's very
respect in
weird.
management and in leadership because it's not effective. It's like you know, like I could have a lot of opinions about what you do in your free time, but that's weird.
Hmm.
But
Right.
anyway, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the series on Netflix, is extremely good. I actually want to go back and watch the series for a third time now, which means
Mm,
going back and watching Korra, which I don't want to see her. But Avatar: The
mm,
Last Airbender was very good. It made me remember the times that we used to have at your apartment, Demarcus, and we used to
Mm.
always get up early, be there by 11 watching the show, and I would watch it
Hmm.
already, and us having great discussions on Avatar: The Last Airbender. But this show is very, 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 very good. The costumes are good, the fight scenes are good, the the bending was good. Everything about this show was good. It has been an amazing show so far. Gordon, what have you thought about it so far? Well, you
uh,
say you watch it all, so what have you thought about it? 10
um,
stars?
yeah, so I agree with what Demarcus said earlier. I think that this is a different show and it's
Yes.
purposely different, and you should go into it with different eyes. Obviously, we all know the story by now. Like, this is, been a story that's been told for over how many years now? 20 years?
It came out in
Yeah.
2007.
Yeah. So, okay.
Woo.
So we're going on 20 years soon. Meaning to just say like we've all heard the story, so I didn't go into it wanting to be compelled by the storyline. I wanted to go into it and look at the artistry of how it was done and made and like their interpretations of these characters. I really so far like what they're doing with Azula.
Love
Um,
Azula. Love that.
I'm loving the actress that they casted. I'm loving the relationship drama that they're kind of already starting to build with Zuko's family. Because that was honestly something I don't think I cared about in the animated show. Like Zuko has one of the best character arcs of any
Mm,
character in that show. But to be honest, I wasn't a fan of Zuko. I actually kind of like him more in this live action. And I think the main actor is doing well with that.
yeah.
Um, I also really like just some of the ways that they're interpreting combat and like bending, and like they're still bringing the martial arts aspect of it, which I think that they would have had a magnifying glass on them if they didn't do that. Like it has to tie to some level of like, martial arts and knowing your body, balance, all of these things that I think they're doing well at bringing into it. Um, Especially saying, I one thing I forgot about was like Katara not only being the only waterbender from her tribe, but also like her learning how to waterbend from the very beginning. Like I keep thinking at this point in my journey with this story that she's like the best waterbender in the world and whatever, because we always know her to be that. But this is how she got started, and it's cool to see that again and how this character is doing it. Um, I don't know, the pacing, which I think is something that we have to talk about, like because the pacing is different. Obviously, it's 8 episodes, so it's going to be, we got through the first book really quickly, I think, but I think that they did really well at teasing different potentially like filler episodes, but like in a bigger picture. Like for example, the cabbage merchant. I feel like they gave him justice, even though it was like
Yeah, it was
kind
the
of in
same
passing.
actor.
Oh, it was really
Mm-hmm.
same voice actor. Oh wow.
Yes. It was the same actor, and on Gordon, there were 3 episodes there were 20 episodes from the original first season, and with this season being 8 episodes, there were 3 episodes that were completely shut out of this season, and characters that were also shut out.
What characters?
So there was a earthbender who Okay. There was an earthbender who got thrown in jail, and he had to find his father in jail. And
Hakoda.
yeah, a coda. So he was not
Hakoda.
mentioned or heard of in
Mm,
this first season, but the 3 episodes that were not mentioned as well were um talked about when uh, Prince Zuko and Iroh were at the bar trying to find who was trying to find the avatar. They mentioned the 3 episodes while they were saying, who, you know, uh who was where's the avatar? Oh, he's with the water tribe. He did this, he did that. So yes, that was a great thing. Everybody should watch the Avatar The Last Airbender, especially if you are a fan. Demarcus, I'm gonna wrap this up very quickly, but have you been watching Love is Blind?
I'm in the middle of episode 2.
Never mind, Demarcus. We are going to start this. We are going to start this episode. And we are going to go with it. I am Jared, the
My name
host.
is Demarcus, and today is the D is for I don't know,
Demarcus, get
man.
on your
My
Netflix.
D's.
Because what do you be doing? Nothing. Jacking off. All right, let's go to the episode, y'all.
Wow.
On Black Geek Energy.
And we also have Gordon on for Black Geek Energy.
Hello.
All right, BGEN.
BGE commercial? It's Jared here, and before we go more in depth with our geeky discussions, I want to talk to you about something important. Life's an epic quest, full of twists and turns. But guess what? We got a partner for you in this adventure, BetterHelp. You heard it right. BetterHelp.com will connect you with a licensed therapist who gets it. Whether you're battling real life feelings or just need someone to chat with, BetterHelp is your quest guide. So, fellow geeks, go to betterhelp.com/BGEpod. As a listener, you get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/BGEpod. Because leveling up your mental health is just as important as saving the universe. BetterHelp, because even heroes need support.
All right, welcome back to BGE. And as we do within this new season, we have an activity for you. We are going to be playing this or that. And I'll explain the rules for Mr. Gordo, who's just now joining us. So in this or that, Gordon, I will establish two categories. And then I'll read a number of facts or items that can fall into either category. And it's going to be up to you and Jared to categorize them correctly. Each correct answer is worth 1 point. And whoever has the most points at the end wins. Let's just go ahead and establish a victory point right now. Because I feel like last time we waited kind of late. I have 20 items. Mm-hmm. What do y'all want to go to? How many do you want to get to win? 7?
All right. I mean, 7 or 5 or 6.
7.
Somewhere around there.
7 sounds good. 7
yeah,
sounds good. All right. And we usually alternate. So I am thinking of a number between 20 and 30.
Who does 20 and 30?
I did just now.
28.
Okay.
27.
Okay. 21 was the number. Jared is the closest, so Jared's gonna be going first.
Already winning, Gordon. You need to get on it.
The categories are PC, console, or it can be both. It can be both. And we're talking and so what it is like you have to determine which platform was it released on. Okay. Was it released on PC? Was it released on console, or was it released on both? Not that it eventually made it to all three or whatever, or made it to, that's different. Was it released? Was it intentionally put to market for that console?
All right.
Are y'all ready?
Ready. And I go first.
You are going first, Jared. All right. So the first one we have is pretty easy, I think. All right, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, an open-world action-adventure game where players explore the vast kingdom of Hyrule, solve puzzles, and battle enemies in their quest to defeat the evil Calamity Ganon.
Console never been released on PC.
Okay, 1 point for Jardo. He coming on strong.
Very simple.
Coming on strong. All right. Bet. So,
very simple.
Gordon, it's your turn.
Yep.
All right, I think this is gonna be another like easy-ish one. All right, Minecraft, a sandbox game that allows players to build and explore virtual worlds made up of blocks, featuring survival and creative modes. Was this on PC, console, both?
Originally on PC, and then quickly console afterwards.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Correct.
Very easy.
Impressive.
Very.
That's all. I'm starting off easy. Let y'all get warmed up, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, bet. I got you, Jared. We back to you. All right. The next one here. Jared, Grand Theft Auto 5. An action-adventure game set in the fictional state of San Andreas, featuring a gripping narrative, diverse characters, and a sprawling open world. Was that PC, console, or both?
It was released on console first, and it ventured to PC.
That is incorrect. It was released on both PC and console.
Not at first.
It was both, Jared.
Where are you getting this information from? The dark web? Because these are verifiable.
I want to hear all that. I want to hear all that. All right. Gordon, back to you. Genshin Impact, an action RPG with an open world structure featuring elemental combat and a diverse cast of characters as players explore the fantasy realm of Teyvat. Was that PC, console, or both?
PC first and then console.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to take that one away from you, Gordon. That one was also both.
Oh, damn. Damn.
It's all good. There's plenty more questions, plenty more answers. It's still anybody's game.
Excuse me. I need to say something right quick. right quick. I just need to say something right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nah. Okay, it says the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions were released on 18th October
Mm-hmm.
2014, but GTA wasn't released on November the 18th, so never mind.
Right. So it doesn't really affect our game, huh?
Doesn't really affect the game.
Great. I appreciate you double checking though. I appreciate double checking.
Yeah,
We
I
want to keep
had to
everything
double
honest.
check.
All right, bet. Jared, back on you, right?
Yes.
Right.
And Gordon
Super
just lost his point,
Mario
and I just lost my
Odyssey,
point.
a 3D platformer where players join Mario on a globe-trotting adventure to rescue Princess Peach from Bowser using his new friend Cappy to possess objects and enemies.
Console. I don't think Nintendo has ever released a first-party game on PC though.
All right, and that is correct. So these Nintendo ones, that's your bag, huh, Jerry?
Yeah, that's like
All
an
right,
easy
all right.
point for me. I don't think that Nintendo has ever released anything on.
All right, all right. Gordon, here's one for you. Final Fantasy VII Remake, a reimagining of the classic JRPG featuring updated visuals, expanded story elements, and real-time combat as players follow Cloud Strife and his allies in their fight against the mega corporation Shinra. Was that PC, console, or both?
Both.
That one was only console, bro.
It was
But I
first released
understand.
on
I don't think
console,
you.
later released on PC.
Yeah, I don't think you really. Do you play the Final Fantasy series like that?
No, yeah, I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's all good. It's
I
all
am a
good. All
huge
right.
Final Fantasy fan. It comes out this week. I've been watching all the reviews. So excited.
All right. Jared, back on you, brother. Um, Fortnite, a battle royale game that combines building mechanics with fast-paced shooting as players compete to be the last one standing. Was that PC, console, or both?
I don't know this.
So my little brother would know.
So Minecraft released on PC first. I know that Fortnite is on both now. Fortnite is everywhere now. I'm going to say that first. Minecraft. I mean, what's his Fortnite released on consoles first?
That one was actually both as well, Jared. Yeah. I think they was like Xbox and PC. All right. Gordon, back to you. Good sir. Still anybody's game. These are tougher than I thought they would be.
They're getting
all right.
tougher.
We have Animal Crossing New Horizons, a life simulation game where players can create their own island paradise, make friends with anthropomorphic animals, and enjoy various activities like fishing, bug catching, and fossil hunting. Was that PC, console, or both?
Console only.
Yes, sir. That is
need
correct.
to take Nintendo stuff out because Nintendo stuff are like just free answers.
If I did that, Jared, you would have 0. You realize that, right?
Well, then stop giving me the free answers just because I'm on. just because I'm the co-host. Don't give me free answers.
Bet, let's keep moving. Jared, it's your turn again. Call of Duty Warzone, a free-to-play battle royale game set in the Call of Duty universe where players compete to be the last person standing or last team standing. Was that PC, console, or both? And let me give you a quick hint on that one. Some of the Call of Duty games are console only. We talk about Warzone.
I mean, what does that mean? I know that this is on mobile as well. I'm just gonna say, both.
That is correct. Warzone is on both. All right, Gordon, we back to you, sir. All right. Among Us, a multiplayer party game where players work together on a spaceship that must identify and vote off imposters trying to sabotage the crew's mission. Is that PC, console, or both?
Oh man, because I know it became a mobile game when it got really popular, but I don't think it started as mobile. I want to say it started as a PC game.
That is correct. Among Us was only on PC.
Yeah.
All
On
right.
Steam, I think.
Jared, you should get this one. This was our favorite game for a minute. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, a massive open world RPG where players can explore the fantasy realm of Tamriel, complete quests, and develop their character's skills and abilities. Was that PC, console, or both?
That was console first. Um, it
Mm-hmm,
was
mm-hmm,
console first.
mm-hmm.
And it eventually came to mobile refrigerators. That went to everything.
Okay, cool. That's wrong.
Oh my God, no.
Skyrim was
That was
actually
on both?
PC first. It was
That was on
PC
PC
first.
first?
Yeah, because folks was cheating.
Yeah.
Like they was like, "Oh,
All
I
of
got
the
maxed
yeah,
out
all of
shit."
the Elder Scrolls, like all the Elder Scrolls were PC only games at first.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
did not know
Yep.
that. I did not know that at all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay, this is
Okay.
your toughest game yet.
Right, right. This is great. Right, this is a great one. Because you think you know. um, but let's see. All right, Gordon, back to you. We all remember the game Red Dead Redemption that came out on Xbox a long time ago. Made a big
I mean, you're
splash.
just giving
Red
the
Dead
answer.
Redemption 2,
Okay.
an action adventure game set in the American Wild West following Arthur Morgan, an outlaw and member of the Vanderlyn gang. Was that PC, console, or both? And we're talking about the release.
Yeah. This is hard because I feel like this is one of those situations where like PC was like a fast follow release. Like it wasn't at the same time. Because this is when like I think titles were recently starting to go over to like releasing at the same time with PC, but like it wasn't everybody yet. I'm gonna say console first.
It was both. It was
Damn.
right after that whole thing
Dang.
you just described. It was both, Gordon. It was both.
Ah,
It was
okay.
both. I didn't know that either. Have you played that game, Gordon?
No, and I know it's like really it's even on Switch now. Like
Yeah.
I've thought about picking it up, but
Yeah.
Well, the Red Dead Redemption 2, I've been thinking about getting it for Xbox or PlayStation, one of the two.
because I heard
All
Red Dead Online is pretty fun, you know.
Okay, what's the score right now?
The score now is 3-2-3.
Oh, wow. We're tied. Okay.
All right. Jared, back to you.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, an action RPG that follows Eivor, a Viking warrior, as they led their clan in raids and battles during the Viking invasion of England.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla EA. They makes these games, I believe. And EA has their little subscription service that they put all their games on now. And Valhalla was their last release, so I'm gonna say both. Did it
That is
release on?
correct. It was
Yes!
both, Jared. It's funny to listen to you like try to work it out. Like doing the math is like, okay, EA makes this game. What else do they do? I'm like, this. I was like, me listening. I'm like, I don't think any of this is going to help you, but okay. Apparently, it does.
Yeah,
Gordon,
it does.
Cyberpunk 2077, an open world action RPG set in the dystopian future where players control V, a mercenary navigating the dangerous streets of Night City. Was that PC, console, or both?
PC first.
It definitely was PC first. That's right, Gordon. That's what I'm talking
It
about.
was?
Yeah, because it was like the performance of the game could only run on PCs at the time, the hardware, like the consoles that were out. I think this was when we were going from like PS4 to PS5 or something like that.
Yeah, it was in the
They
middle
were
of the
waiting
console
on the
switch.
consoles. Yeah.
Yeah, and when it came out on console, it was trash. So
Right.
Oh,
It was already struggling on PCs, so like
so 4-4. Okay.
let's see. We only have a few more left, y'all. Somebody need to hurry up and go ahead and get to 7. Y'all don't feel like y'all don't warmed up though. All right. Ghost of Tsushima. This is for you, Jared. A samurai action adventure game set in feudal Japan, following Jin Sakai's journey as he adapts to new combat styles to defend his homeland against, against the Mongol invasion. Was that
Console.
PC, console?
Yeah,
Oh, right, right,
console.
right. It was a console
Yeah,
first.
that was
Which
the
console?
PlayStation exclusive that later came to PC.
Okay. See, Jared be knowing them PlayStation exclusives because he be sucking PlayStation dick. But Gordon, back to you.
And he liked it.
Whoa, okay. Save that for BGE after dark. Um Overwatch, a team-based first-person shooter featuring a diverse cast of heroes, each with unique abilities in objective-based game modes. Was that PC, console, or both?
it was PC first because Blizzard.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Y'all are still neck and neck, 5-5. Ooh, man.
You can
Jesus.
Google
All
some
right.
games right quick.
All right. Jared, back to you. Halo Infinite, a first-person shooter in the iconic Halo series, featuring Master Chief in an expansive, visually stunning world as he battles against the Banished.
I am going to
PC,
say
console, or both?
I'm gonna say that came out on console first.
That is
Because
correct.
because they need Halo to sell consoles. That was a console exclusive.
You're right. You're right. I feel like that is correct.
All right.
6-5.
6-5. I just need one more.
6-5, 6-5. All right. Gordon, the game is called Celeste, a challenging platformer that follows the story of a young woman named Madeline as she climbs the Titular Mountain, facing inner struggles and external obstacles. Was that PC, console, or both?
I have never heard of this game in my life, so I'm gonna just say both.
That one was PC, Gordon. That one was PC.
Okay.
All
You
right.
haven't heard of Celeste?
No.
Wow.
I haven't heard of it either.
Crazy.
All right. Jared, the game is called Splatoon.
For the win.
Splatoon 2.
Okay.
A team-based multiplayer shooter where players control squid-like characters called Inklings and engage in colorful, fast-paced turf wars. PC, console, or both?
I've never played this game, but I do know that it is on a Nintendo console, so I'm gonna say console.
That is correct. All right, and Jared, looks like you are our winner yet again. I'm gonna have to come up with some better, more challenging games to stump Jared. This one was good though, man. Gordon, you was hanging in there, bro.
Yeah, this one was very good. I'm so happy that I won yet again. Those got kind of easy. I feel like you gave me that last one with Splatoon. But today we are going to talk about PC and console. What is the best gaming platform to start with, to have, to hold, and to keep? I just want to know first, what is your video gaming history, so I can know like your background, like what console did you start off with? What was your first game? Gordon, how about you start?
Sure. Yeah. So I would say my first console, like if I had to think of the very first one that I owned, was a Game Boy Color.
Pokemon?
Prior to this, I was like going to friends' houses. Yeah, like I feel like I remember playing other people's like Super Nintendos at the time and stuff, but we never had one in my household. Oh, shoot, actually, I started on like Reader Rabbit and like Math Blaster games on the PC. So, oh man, I'm yeah. Honestly, dang, in this moment, so I would say the first console I ever owned was a Game Boy Color, and then, but I would say I started my gaming journey on PC with like learning development games. And I remember my dad sitting me down at like 4, even 3 years old, maybe with my brother, and like learning how to read. And it's just basically like alphabet games, but you know, um,
Like
they
hooked
were
on
run
phonics.
kind of like that. Yeah, it was like Reader Rabbit. It's called Reader Rabbit and Math Blaster. Those are
Mm-hmm.
they were like development games back in the day. And so like that was fun. But like started doing personal gaming, like not for education and academia, was like Game Boy Color with Pokemon.
Mm.
Um, and then first like true console after that was like a PlayStation 1. So I never owned an N64. That was more like a console I would play at like sleepovers and stuff, so like GoldenEye and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But like the first time my
Mm-hmm.
brother and I got our own console was a PlayStation 1. And that
Okay.
was a lot of Metal Gear Solid and uh Tekken.
So what was your first game where you realized, okay, this is going to be a thing for me?
Um, I think it probably was Pokemon. Like that was the first time that I got really invested into like
Red or blue?
I played Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm.
my brother and I both got, or what was it? I got Blue and he got Yellow for
Mm.
Christmas. And
Did y'all get the connectors too?
yep, and we battled and everything. It was a staple of my childhood. Um, yeah, but like, so I think Pokemon was the first, and back then, you had like guidebooks and you were really like invested in it because there wasn't really like much tutorial and help in those kind of games. Like it was a lot of grinding because your Pokemon didn't have experience share or anything like that. So you had to like level each Pokemon one by one, and you would spend hours, if not days, in the wild area of certain routes. So back then, you really had to use guidebooks to understand like where hidden items were and like you know just kind of how to progress through the game. Um, but I
So
would
what
say
was
like, oh, go ahead.
okay? What was your first PC game where you were like, okay, this is something different that I can enjoy as well?
Good question. I think the first PC game that really like stuck with me was maybe like Jedi Academy, Star Wars Jedi Academy. Yeah, like that game I played on the PC, and I think it also had come out on console already. Like that was a game that um I think maybe originally released on console, then had a PC port, but the PC was better because of the online and the servers. And I used to own like a server where I like modded it and had like, different type of AI bots in it, and I had a clan, and that's when I started getting into website design because I wanted to design a website with my clan. So I got, Dreamweaver, and I don't know, I just really got into like the PC like ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Um But then like MMORPGs is when I started like spending hours upon hours. And the first one I played was Gaia Online. That was a big one. Marcus, did you ever play Gaia? I feel like that would
I
have
don't
been
think so. I've heard of it. I don't think I ever played it though.
it's a browser-based MMO, like social MMO, but you like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you would collect these items that would be worth a lot of money. It was kind of like a marketplace type of thing, but with virtual items back in the day. But
Okay.
yeah, like that was when I started spending hours.
DeMarcus, what about you? What was your first console and what was your first game where you were like, this may be a thing?
Mm, I think I was pretty much hooked from the beginning. Like I think similar to Gordon. Well, I think opposite of Gordon actually. It's like I played some like learning games when I was younger, but I didn't own those. Those weren't my games. They would just happen to be wherever I was, and I was just playing them to like pass the time. The first game system I owned was a Super Nintendo. Um, and I used to play stuff like Kirby, Donkey Kong. We didn't really have like Mario's, but like I remember playing like all the Donkey Kong games, like Donkey Kong 1, 2, 3, 4, Kirby, and like just be like doing those up, man.
Let me
And
ask both of
that,
y'all, have y'all ever played Super Mario 3?
yeah, probably,
Okay. Probably.
yeah. I mean, I definitely played like the first Super Mario game too.
I
Like
have not.
Oh,
No.
okay. That's crazy.
But yeah,
Yes.
man, like, and I knew I was hooked from the start. Like I remember playing Kirby for hours, and like I'll put the game down, walk away, come back and play it again, and I'm playing like a completely different game. And I don't know how much, probably just my child mind didn't know how to connect dots, but it always felt like there was more to discover in that game, and I loved it. And there was always like a new level to play, no matter how much I did, no matter what thing, no matter what boss I beat, it felt like there was more. So yeah, I was hooked from the jump. Like I think Super Nintendo like got me started, and I think the original PlayStation, the PlayStation One, that is what kind of like solidified me in the game world. And then I think once I got like an Xbox, like because that was the first game system that I like actually asked for. I was like, hey, get me an Xbox, and that one sort of like launched me into like my my gaming addiction for a while.
Hmm. So, have you ever played a game on PC?
Yeah, yeah. I got into like MMOs for a long time. Like Maple Story is my joint. Fly for Fun. A bunch of I played Guild Wars for a while with Gordon. I did back into that. Yeah, man. I played like a lot of PC stuff. But the PC stuff like never really stuck for me because if I'm playing an MMO, if I'm playing like a multiplayer game, I want to play with like my friends. I want to play with people I know. But that was always harder for me to do. So I always ended up playing by myself. I would be like a soloer on like MMO games. And so
Yeah.
I got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna be playing solo. I might as well just play a console game and
Yeah.
enjoy it.
And see, that's interesting because like I preferred multiplayer games, but I feel like my brother didn't really want to like play games with me.
Mm,
So like, I preferred MMORPGs because I could play with strangers and play with people that, dedicated time to playing with me.
mm. Yeah, you have very different experience on MMOs. Like I'll go on MMOs, like nobody would talk to me. Of course I wouldn't try to start any conversations either, because like I was still in that mindset of like, oh, strangers on the internet, be careful.
So, my first console, even though nobody asked, was the original Nintendo. And
The Nintendo Entertainment System.
yeah, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the gray brick. And I remember playing the original Kirby into Dreamland and Super Mario Brothers 3 for hours on end when I was like, what, 3 and 4 and everything. Like I'm taking it upstairs and downstairs and finding the little connectors in the back of the TV or VCR. And that's what I did. So I always knew that I was going to be in gaming. Then Sonic came out for the Sega. I had to get a Sega because my cousins had one, and I loved running around with Sonic. So Sonic 2, 3, and Sonic and Knuckles were big,
Mm-hmm.
big, big parts of my childhood. Like we would go over to my cousin's house. I'd be like, "Hey y'all, bye," and I would go down to the basement immediately and start playing that game. Um, and then my other cousin got an N64, and she got Legend of Zelda. She didn't know what to do with it, but I definitely did. I would actually walk to her house and play Legend of Zelda all the time. And by then, guides were out. So I would print out all these guides from IGN, and I would be reading the guides and playing Legend of Zelda because it was an amazing game. But the first time that I knew that gaming was a thing is um, I wanted to. I wanted my mom. I said, "Mom, you have to give me a PlayStation. I have to get a PlayStation." And I wanted for Chrono Cross because that commercial had this dragon on it and this white guy, and it just looks so cool. But my mom got me a PlayStation, and she got me Final Fantasy VIII, which is my all-time favorite game. It was the first game with cussing in it, the first game with
Mm.
adult situations. Like these people were orphans in a military school, and like it was great. I'm like, what did you get me? I don't know anything about Final Fantasy. I don't know anything about this game, but what did you get me? I am a full-fledged adult now, and I'm playing this game and I can't believe it. I'm just like the Japanese children. So that was my first game, my first experience, and I have played Final Fantasy like every year since I got it. But yeah, that was my first real PC game, but I am well versed in the classic Sonic and Mario. As far as PC, I remember I used to always play PC games from The Sims to one of my favorite games, Black and White. That game was very, very good by Peter Molyneux, where you were a god and you controlled this big giant beast. Um, and you tried to get, your village into a city and to overrun the other village and take over the continent. That was really fun, and I did that, and I kind of like went, you know, on PC, and I wasn't really happy with PC. I played KOTOR. That was fun, but PC was a console that I would pick up every 2 years. I would play with it for about 80 hours, and then I would play it again
Mm-hmm.
until I got City of
Mm.
Heroes.
So that was
See,
that was KOTOR you did like that?
yeah,
80
KOTOR.
hours?
Yeah, KOTOR
Okay.
2. And then I got
Mm-hmm.
City of Heroes. City of Heroes was my first ever massively multiplayer online role-playing game. And this game I spent days, weeks, like 23 out of 24 hours on beefing up my controller, reading through the
Mm-hmm.
updates, telling my mom we have to get a faster internet connection, and really, that was my first ever video game experience where I had to work with other people because I liked characters that, I like controllers and blasters. You can't do nothing with a controller and blaster by yourself. So I had to talk to other people to have an enjoyable time on that game. And I had to talk to them, and that was my first time where I'd be like, okay, I have to venture in with somebody else so I can enjoy this game. City of Heroes was the best experience ever. I've never had another online role-playing game that is like City of Heroes yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Yeah.
I mean, that was why it was so influential for its time because it was not an MMO that you could solo.
Yeah.
Like I think World of Warcraft coming out at the same time, like there were a lot of solo World of Warcraft players, but like
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
City of Heroes wasn't designed for you to, as a controller, go from level 1 to level 50 by
Yeah.
yourself. Like you had to be in a team, and it
Hmm.
really leaned into the whole superhero, super group aspect of it all. And they had a really cool like sidekick system, so like older or higher
Hmm.
level superheroes could like train lower level ones. Like I loved City of Heroes. That was the first game that like made me get into PC gaming as like a financial and investment. Like
Hmm.
I needed more RAM to play that game. Like my PC was too
Same.
too
Same.
weak. So I had to go out to Best Buy and like first of all even learn what the fuck RAM was and then
Mm-hmm.
Same.
get the same RAM. It was like PCIe or something like that back then. And install it myself and then had to go get those little game time cards and, and
Yep.
try and pay for it every month. Yeah.
Like I remember reading the back of the little box of City of Heroes and then finding my system information and seeing like what I needed so I could accurately play City of Heroes. And like that whole experience was like really eye-opening for me. Like I can build this machine and make it so that I can play this game. Like I've never had any other experience like that. Sea of Heroes is probably my last PC game mini
Mm-hmm.
experience until like I graduated from college. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I play now Baldur's Gate 3. So I bought this PC when I bought Baldur's Gate 3 a long time ago. The alpha for the game. When I bought it,
Mm. Because I'm about to say
Bald
Baldur's Gate just came out. What you talking about?
no, no, no. Baldur's Gate 3, the alpha for the game has been out for like 5 years. So I've
Okay.
been had the game, but my PC didn't play it. Because
Hmm.
my little PC laptop, it didn't play it. it was like, I don't know what you think you were gonna do, but you can't play this game. So I was like, oh,
You
I
trying to
don't know.
play it
I
on a
got it.
Chromebook?
Basically. But I had gotten like this PC laptop for Baldur's Gate, but it wasn't
Hmm.
like optimized for that game. Then the original game release, I've only like did the character creation. The original game release, I tried it on my PC and it worked perfectly, full settings.
Hmm.
Like the only thing was like I had a little extra time when they were loading between zones, about 10 extra seconds, but
Hmm.
it played perfectly. I was like, oh my God, this game is playing great. So then I started getting other games for the PC after I finished Baldur's Gate, like Elder Scrolls
So
and I don't know what else I played on PC. I don't know, but I'm
I got a
playing Elder
question.
Scrolls now. Oh, and Skyrim
I got.
again, and a whole bunch
Mhm.
of other games for the PC.
I got a question. What makes y'all drawn to PC more than like console games? Because like I've heard y'all talk about City of Heroes a lot, and I never
Mhm.
really got into it. Like I knew about it, during this time, but I just never played it. And I think for me, it's because I never
Mhm.
had my own like personal computer at that point. I had like family computers that I would play shit on, and you couldn't always like use. You couldn't. I couldn't always like spend 3 hours on the family computer. My brothers got a Wi-Fi
Yeah.
too.
I think for me, like it really does come down to like the control itself, like you're using a keyboard and mouse, and it just has a
Hmm.
different type of immersive experience because it feels like you have endless key bindings. And I remember even back in the day, like
Mm.
playing MMOs way back before even like the MMO developers themselves were creating features. Like people were creating their own key binds to kind of like mimic their own features in the game, which
Hmm.
is really telling for the time. Like, before, and I'll give you an example. Like City of Heroes now today has like a costume switching experience where you can
Hmm.
like switch between your costumes and do these animations. Like maybe your character spins really fast like Wonder Woman, or they like super speed
Mm.
off in the distance and come back in their costume. But before that was never a feature implemented in the game, but people would
Hmm.
make their own keybinds where they would like literally click like one button on their number pad and have all of these commands fire off immediately, which would
Yeah,
allow their character
Mm.
to like, do an animation, like maybe
where they would
summon
spin
something.
and then
Yeah.
in the
Yeah. And
background they would
so,
change their character, and then like a poof would come up, this little emo, a poof would come up as an emo. So yeah.
mhm. Yeah, I think just
Okay.
like looking at the fact that you're using this keyboard and mouse, it actually changes the way you're interacting with these worlds where like there's just something that I can't get from a controller.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can see that. I see that. I think that is what I assumed it was like because there's so much more, I guess, versatility and so much more detailed control on PC, and you can do so many more things that you're not able to do with a controller. Like you have more control over the game world that you're playing
Yeah, you do have more control over the game world. Like Gordon was saying, the key binds, there's a lot more buttons that do a lot more things.
in.
And it's
Hmm.
specific buttons, and like my keyboard actually lights up. So like it shows like every button that does something, it'll have a ring around it. But when I played Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time, what I did was I went in there with the notion that I'm going to use the keyboard and mouse because, I've been playing PC. That's all I ever did. That's what I'm
Hmm.
going to do. But what I did was I saw my PS4 controller and I actually hooked up my PS4 controller to my console. I was like, I don't think this is going to work. Let's see. And it worked.
To
And the
your PC
whole,
console?
yeah, to my PC, and the whole Baldur's Gate 3 interface changed for my console. So I sacrificed, all that key binding, all that customization that I would have for, that laying down, sitting back, lazy way that I play PC and console games.
I have
Really
a
I think
question.
that's what draws me to I'm sorry, Gordon, real quick. That's what draws me to like console gaming is because like I spend a lot of my time on a computer. I work in tech, so like
yeah.
8 to 5, I'm on a computer. Even now I'm on a computer doing this podcast. So I think like getting away from the computer is like a part of how I relax. And so being able to like just hold the controller, sit back on the couch, put my feet up, and like play something and not feel like I have to be like completely absorbed into it is what draws me to console. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
I had a question. So do you think that like there is a, especially with things like the Steam Deck and handheld gaming and handheld PC gaming specifically being on the rise, that there's
Mm-hmm.
actually like more, because I find myself like actually playing City of Heroes on my Steam Deck now, or
Oh,
like
Mm.
really?
yeah,
That's
like
Steam Deck
it works.
verified?
No, but there's, the way the Steam Deck works is that there's community templates. So thousands of people have created different keybinds and they just upload them to the community, and you can like quickly load them onto your Steam Deck and be like, oh, so there's thousands of different ways that people have created playing City of Heroes on a Steam Deck using
Oh,
the touch pads, using the analog, all of it. And I found a build that works for me. So I can play completely on a controller laying back in bed.
that's
Same with
neat.
Baldur's Gate. Like I agree with you, Jared. I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 is a much better experience with a controller than like the PC
Yeah.
mouse and keyboard. Um, but I wonder if that's because I'm getting older and I just don't have time to sit at a PC as much as I did, or if I prefer gaming on the go.
See, I'm thinking back. I just like to lay down when I'm playing games. Like people have these grand setups where they have their chair and their like have their 7 monitors. I don't like all that. I like to lay my butt down under the covers with my fans on, and I like to play that way. That's how I like to play. But yeah, like uh uh putting like doing a controller to my PC has been great. The only thing is for some games, um, hooking it up to the PC with my PS4 controller, it wasn't compatible with every game to play it wirelessly. So I had to
Mm.
actually get an Xbox, another Xbox S controller. I just got to use one so I could play all the games wirelessly. But other than that, like, let me lay down, be lazy, and like enjoy this game. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 on the PC and actually having everything and having those updates immediately and that controller, I think that's the best way to
Yeah, I think that about every game. So I'm
play.
not. That's why every game is better with the controller. Um,
So,
yeah,
let me just ask, have y'all ever played staple PC games like Oregon Trail?
no,
You haven't played Oregon Trail?
no.
Wow.
No. What falls in the
Wow.
category of staple? Like pinball?
No,
Tetris.
I mean like games like you say you played Master Blaster or whatever it was called. I remember those education games. Like my mom was a teacher, so every day, and I went to that school, and we lived in College Park, but our school was in Noonan. So every day I would have to stay after school with her. So what I would do is I would just go in the library and I would play the little games. Oregon Trail was one of those games that we had on the library computers. So y'all didn't play Oregon Trail? Y'all never experienced Oregon Trail ever?
Mm-mm. I've seen
Wow.
it as an
Nope.
option to play before, and I always said, "Nah, I don't want to play that."
Wow. 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 Wow.
Yeah, nah, I'm good. But I played Pong. I played Tetris. Those are
Mm.
staple PC games.
Well, no. Tetris came out on the Game Boy, so not really a staple PC game.
I
Um,
feel like Tetris very first
No, that was the
was.
Atari. Wasn't it
Oh, you're
Atari?
right. That was the Atari. Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. Something like that.
um,
Something like that.
have y'all ever played Peggle?
Peggle.
Yes.
Is that like the man with
No.
the little nose?
It's like where the little thing drops at the top and it like kind of goes down at the and at the end. If you win, it plays Ode to Joy. It's like that Price is Right
I
game.
think I know this. I think I know this concept, this game concept, but I don't think I've played that specific one.
Wow. Have y'all
Yeah, showing
ever
your age, Jared.
I guess so. This is where I do show my age and I hate to talk about it. Have y'all ever played so y'all have not played Sim City. Have y'all ever played Sim City?
I played that.
Yes.
Mm. And y'all play this on PC, of course.
Yeah, and I was a big Sims Online fan back in the day too, when that was popular on PC. I would use my mom and dad's dial up and be holding that shit up all night to play that.
Can't get no phone calls.
So, and have y'all ever played World of Warcraft?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and you played this
Yep.
on PC, of course.
PC, yes. And I
Okay.
played RuneScape as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I remember we went to Germany. My uncle was stationed in Germany, and one of the games, and he had a PC, and one of the games that he had was Wolfenstein. So I played Wolfenstein on the PC first. Have y'all
Yeah.
have y'all ever played Wolfenstein on PC?
That was the
Mm-mm.
first shooter I ever played on PC before
Same.
Call of Duty. Like my brother was, I think, playing Call of Duty, like the original one back in the day. But then I played Wolfenstein.
Mm.
Okay. When everybody else was playing Call of Duty, I was playing Halo. I prefer Halo.
You prefer Halo. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and wrap this conversation up. What is the best way to play? Like, is it PC or is it console? No, not Gordon, DeMarcus. I'm asking you, what is the
All
best
right.
way to play?
I definitely think it depends on your lifestyle. Like, what kind of person are you? Are you somebody that has like a lot of home time? Are you somebody that like is on the go? Are you somebody that like is attached to their computer or not? I like to play things on my like big screen TV in my living room. So for me, the best way to play stuff is like on a console, whether that's Xbox, Nintendo, or PlayStation.
Mhm.
Right now, right now, I'm playing my PlayStation a lot just because that's where all my newer games are and all the games that I'm like actually trying to beat in the moment. But I do still have my Xbox. Yeah, so those are the two game systems I'm on.
So console would be your answer.
Console.
Okay. Gordon, what say you? What is the best way to play?
I'm gonna approach this a little differently. Like I think that like PC is unequivocally the best way to play because of the allowance for variety and like
Y'all
optionality.
just said that some of these games on PC is just a better experience on console.
No, what do you mean? Who said that?
Both of y'all, you and I think you specifically said Baldur's Gate. Well, no, Jared said it's Baldur's
No,
Gate
no.
is
What
better
I
on console.
said, no, because
Mm-mm.
remember we're talking about console versus PC as the mechanism or hardware for running the game, but we're talking
Yeah.
about
All right.
controller. So
Yeah,
like I'm
PC
still
versus
using my
controller.
PC
Oh,
as the the main hardware, but I can connect. That's what
got
I'm
you.
talking about. Like I have the option to use either
Got
controller, I can
you.
use mouse and keyboard, I can use a joystick, I can use whatever I want to connect to
Mm-hmm.
my PC. Whereas the PlayStation is limiting you to only using a PlayStation controller for that experience.
Mhm.
So
Fair enough.
I think that if we're qualifying what is the best way to game, PC allows you to game any way you want, whereas like any console is going to limit you to game in the way that that company has designed that console for. And I'm not saying that that's a bad way. It's
Mm-hmm.
just,
Not the
yeah, I
best
just
way.
think PC, yeah. And like
Got you.
especially
Got you.
now with PC gaming going into handheld territory, we're getting, Switch
Even
like
more
experiences.
versatility.
Yeah, even more versatility. So we can now do PC gaming on the go. And I've had my Steam account since I don't know, like for 12, 14 years now. And meaning
Mm-hmm.
every single game that I've ever purchased now follows me from every PC that I've ever owned to every handheld that I have. And that library is going to always
Yeah.
follow me.
I don't really see handheld or like mobile, maybe mobile gaming. If we're talking about strictly mobile phones, but I don't really see handheld gaming getting really big in America because we don't have like those public transit commutes where it makes sense to like have like a handheld thing. Not regularly.
Yeah, I do think that there is like a cultural aspect to the mobile and
Mm-hmm.
handheld market. Like, Asia definitely owns that market for a reason because of just how
Mm-hmm.
work life culture is set up. Um, But I don't think that that's not like an open market or an opportunity for American and Western markets. Like I think that what I think people really crave is just having the access to whatever title they want whenever they want. And whatever that
Hmm.
looks like, whether that is through cloud gaming, like, there's a lot of solutions floating around right now with cloud gaming, with, street,
Hmm.
like, what is it, Stadia, where all you need to do is like bring your controller and, you can plug up to any HDMI monitor and you can just kind of like stream your games. Um,
Hmm.
there's a lot of ways trying to solve for that level of library at any time, anywhere. Um,
Yeah. I think
yeah.
that's gonna be the next big thing. Like if they can figure out a way to where like I don't have to have my entire PlayStation with me and I can do sort of like a Amazon Fire Stick, like Roku type deal, go on vacation, plug it into whatever TV I'm around, have like some sort of like light controller and just play wherever I am. I think be the next big thing.
Well, I mean, that's already a thing, we have the Roku that can currently do that.
The
Um,
Roku can, but like the Roku gaming, it has its own games, right?
yeah, but there's like, popular AAA titles that are on Roku now.
And then
Same
what are
with
you playing them
Stadia.
with? Are you playing them with like the Roku remote?
Roku has its own controller.
Yeah. I'm thinking like all I gotta do is pack up my like PlayStation controller that I already own, get the
Well, that's
little
the
plug
PlayStation
in.
Portal.
Yeah, they
Okay, I
just
didn't know
released
about
that for
that.
$200. But let me just say that Microsoft wouldn't have bought King for nothing. King is the mobile uh game developer who makes Candy Crush. And so when you
Hmm.
say mobile games are not, in, you got to think about 4 years ago when everybody was playing Animal Crossing and
Yeah.
everybody owns Mario Kart 8, which is not the most recent Mario Kart. Everybody owns Mario Kart 8. To play with everybody else, but everybody owns a cell phone, and nothing can be more
Hmm.
mobile than your
That's
cell phone, and that's why Microsoft probably owns or bought King, to be
that's
in
the
that
distinction I
market,
make.
and you can, and like you don't even need the PlayStation Portable to be mobile.
Hmm.
Both your Xbox and your PlayStation can stream on your phone now. You can download the PlayStation app and you can stream the games on your phone. But
Hmm.
to answer the original question that I posed, what do I think is the best one? It all depends on how much money you have, because now all games are being released on PC, whether they're immediately or 6 months from now. Microsoft is releasing them day and date. PlayStation is releasing them on a delay, even their exclusives. A lot of the third-party developers are also releasing them. The only person that doesn't release them is Nintendo, because they want you to go out and purchase their console. So I think if you feel like getting a PC, souping it up, like again, getting a well PC, like not this $700 thing that I got, which is $700 that I use for everything. If you want a real gaming PC, that's about a $3,000 purchase.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, that's a $3,000 purchase.
I'll
So
just
you
take
can
my
have
my
one
five
for
hundred
the long
dollar
haul.
console.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's how expensive my gaming computer was.
exactly.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so you have to put down $3,000. Like my gaming laptop is almost out the door. Like I need to purchase a new one immediately, but it still plays these games. And know that these games I'm playing, besides Baldur's Gate, have not been released in a couple of years. So I'm still holding on by dear life, but I gotta get a new laptop, or I got to go ahead and soup up something for the tune of $3,000.
Mm.
So it all depends on what you want to do. If you want to get uh, a a console just to play games, and and not, have this PC, you should do that. If all that you play is PlayStation games, you should probably just get a PlayStation. If all you play is Nintendo games, go ahead and get a Switch or their next console. But if you are going to be a well-rounded um, person that needs the most accurate, um, uh, non discrepancy in time. If you look at frames and if you are in there for the long haul with gaming, you need to go ahead and get you a PC because that's where everything is. So I think that to be a well-rounded gamer, you don't need a PlayStation, you don't need an Xbox, you just need a good PC, which is $3,000, and you will need to get whatever Nintendo console is out to play your Zelda, Metroids, and Marios. I think that that's what you need to be a good gamer. But if you just want a game or you want a game at the upper level, the competitive level of gaming, I think that you are going to need to purchase a PC. I think you're going to need to purchase a PC for the long haul. But yeah. So I say get both. But to be competitive, you need a PC. Gordon definitely says PC and get a Steam Deck, which I need to look into. And DeMarcus says
Hey,
console,
just fuck
but
with a
we're
couple of
all over the
consoles.
place.
Get a couple of consoles. Get a get you like one of the main ones. Get you a PlayStation or Xbox, and then get a Switch. And you good to go, bro.
Yeah.
Or the Steam Deck joint, because
Yeah.
that's basically a console at this point.
Basically. I haven't really thought about Steam. That was gonna wait till the Steam Deck 3 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But I am looking at, I didn't know that it could do something that Gordon was talking about. Are you
Mm-hmm.
looking at one, DeMarcus?
No,
Not
I
yet.
don't think I'm really looking at a console right now. Yeah, I don't think I'm planning on making any big purchases like that in the near future. I've heard they're phasing out the PlayStation 5. It's reaching the end of its life cycle. We talked about that in one episode. And I
Well, the
know the
mid of
Xbox
its
is
life cycle, they say they're slowing down and they're ramping up production of the PS6.
yeah.
So let's
Okay.
go ahead and wrap up this conversation. We're all over the place with this thing. So it's just you go with the person that you like the most. It's probably going to be me. Let us know in the comments, and we'll be right back with the questions, everybody's favorite parts.
And we are back, everybody, with everybody's favorite part of the pod, the questions. And we only got one today. This episode has been running kind of long, but here is the question, team. It's coming from Jermichael in Atlanta. Which console or gaming platform do you think can go or should have never existed, and why?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say the Super Nintendo.
Shut up.
Yoshi's
Why Super
Island
That's a
Nintendo?
be
bold
darn.
statement. That is
Yeah,
That's
a
a
Yoshi's
bold
bold
Island be
statement.
statement.
darn.
What?
Darn. The Super Nintendo. It can go. Um, Mostly because I never had one. All the games
So
on
this
there,
is hate. This is just
there's
hate.
like
This is
no
just
classics. There's no
usual
classics on the Super Nintendo. Name a classic.
Super
Uh,
Mario,
no,
Kirby,
that's not a
Donkey
classic.
Kong.
Super Mario 3 is better. Nobody likes Donkey Kong. Nobody
Shut
says
up,
Donkey Kong
Jared. Shut
in
up.
any list that you see. Donkey Kong's not on the list, even a list of Nintendo games. Nobody likes Donkey Kong because
Everybody likes Donkey Kong.
that one level, nobody could pass it. So nobody likes Donkey Kong.
So it was hard.
The
I beat the
slow,
whole Donkey Kong game. So I don't know what y'all talking
congratulations.
about.
You want a cookie? You're like the only one. Nobody likes Donkey Kong.
I want you to
So
change your opinion.
no, no, my opinion is the Super Nintendo can go. If I had to choose, Super Nintendo can go, which means the all the Sega consoles can stay, including the Dreamcast, because you can't have video game without Crazy Taxi. No, you can't do it. Without Power
That's
Stone,
actually my answer. The
no,
Sega
without Sonic
Dreamcast can
Adventures,
go.
no, you can't
The
do no, you
Sega,
can't
because
do it. No, no,
everything
no,
the
no,
Sega.
no, no. Have
Shh,
another opinion. Have another opinion. Overruled.
calm
Overruled.
down, Jared. Calm down, Jared. Calm
No,
down,
no,
Jared.
no, no.
The
The
Sega
Dreamcast
Dreamcast
gotta stay. The
didn't really do
Dreamcast gotta
anything
stay.
that the Sega Genesis didn't do.
What you
Like we
say?
had the Sega Dreamcast didn't really do anything that the Sega Genesis didn't
What
do.
it had VMA, the extra peripheral. It had Sonic Adventures. It had Power Stone. It was the first
We
video game
already had
console that you
Sonic.
could go online
The
with.
only
The
one of
first
those
video game
titles
console
that
that you
matters
could
to
go
me is
online
Sonic,
with.
and we already had Sonic games. We already had
Crazy
Sonic
Taxi,
games.
Power Stone. I just named these games. All these
We don't
games on.
need. We didn't need
Yes,
Crazy
we
Taxi.
don't need Power Stone. Are you serious? We don't need
I don't
Crazy
even know what that
Taxi.
is.
We don't need
Calm down,
Crazy
Jared. Calm
Taxi.
down. Calm down, Jared.
No,
Calm down,
because
Jared.
you're
Calm down.
ridiculous now. You're being ridiculous. The Dreamcast was probably the best. Well, the Dreamcast was better than the Super Nintendo.
No,
Yes, it was.
no.
Yes, it was.
Gordon, what
It
you
was better
think?
than the Super Nintendo.
I was gonna say my answer is the Google Stadia. I think
Oh,
that I
I'm
maybe I have like a personal vendetta against it because I feel like the Stadia took resources away from other things that I wish either Google had invested more time in, or like gaming companies building
mm-hmm.
cross progression and cross play for other platforms rather than for the Stadia. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Stadia got all of this cross progression stuff. Like they
Mm-hmm.
got in with behavior for Dead by Daylight. So if you play on your Xbox, you can play on your Stadia. And I'm sorry, no, it was like if you play on a PC, you could play on Stadia and you could switch all your
Mm-hmm.
progress over. But I play on the Switch. So like, they didn't want to work with Google or work with Nintendo because Google got the contract. And
Mm-hmm.
Stadia only was alive for less than 2 years until they shut that whole thing down because
That's
nobody
insane.
had it.
That is a good point. And if we talk about longevity, I think the PlayStation Vita or the PSP, both of those are like why?
Well,
Like
the
we didn't
Vita
like
is really big
Yeah, the
now.
Vita's good. The Vita's
it's good
good.
now. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
PSP was like it popped up for a blip and it was
The
gone
PSP is
real
good
quick.
too. I love the PSP.
Okay.
But the Stadia, I don't even really consider the Stadia a platform because the Stadia didn't have any exclusives. And the
Fair
Stadia
enough.
was just streaming only. So if you don't have any exclusive, like what are you? You're basically like a Steam Deck. You're playing somebody else's games for your life. So
Yeah.
I don't really consider the Stadia a console. It was a little blip. Google has lots of projects that Google does for like 5 seconds, and then Google ends that project. So I don't really consider the Stadia a anything
Mm-hmm.
in the console wars. No.
Okay. Okay.
But the
All right.
Dreamcast can stay, DeMarcus. That was a dumb statement, and
Mm.
you ought to be
And the,
hung.
and the Super Nintendo was a
You
dumber one.
ought to
Shut the
be
fuck up,
hung. And if
Terry.
this was the biblical ages, you would be stoned. You would be stoned for making
I
that
think we would
statement.
have bigger concerns if this was the biblical ages than what game systems we want to play on.
Well, I just got
But
mad. I love the
I
Dreamcast.
I I heard. All
Yeah.
right, y'all.
So that was this episode of Black Geek Energy. I hope that y'all enjoyed. We had to cut the question segment short. Gordon has a party to get to, and it's all good
Mm-hmm.
because I have to sleep. I haven't been asleep for 2 days, and I'm still feeling
Mm.
sick. So
Ew.
we have things to do. um, if you want to leave us a message or contact us, you can email us at blackgeekenergy@gmail.com. You can contact us on our email, not our email, our Instagram and TikTok at Black Geek Energy. You can send us a message on our Twitter at BGE_pod. And you can follow us on YouTube. Go on and make sure you follow us on YouTube because right now the only people that follow us is me and DeMarcus. And if you don't follow us, because I can see. So if you don't follow us, then you're going to be an enemy of this podcast again. So what you need to do to follow us, search Black Geek Energy on YouTube and then follow. That's all you got to do. So make sure you do that immediately. And make sure all y'all do that as well. Uh, uh, Rate us 5 stars and leave a comment with how you like this episode. Lamarcus, any final words?
I think what the one thing that has stood out for us today is that like everybody games different ways, and everyone has found their way to gaming in a different fashion. Everyone has their own path to getting there, sort of like life. So remember, as you're doing life, doing gaming, and choose your own path, and choose the path that works best for you, and that path can change. I was once a very big on PCs and MMOs. Now I am all console, and that's okay.
Okay. And that is Black Geek Energy. BGE out.
BGE out. All right,
Gordon,
y'all.
have fun at the party.
All right. See y'all.
Bye. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye.
What's happening, my fellow geeks out there? It's a new year. Welcome to 2024. New me, or the same you. However you want to play it this year. I am here to tell y'all that I am in a much better space mentally, and a lot of that is due to getting, I'm not going to say the help I need, but having someone to talk to objectively, like that third party who's just there to give you advice and not really trying to put their own judgment on you, and also like kind of helping you, think through some of your thoughts. Maybe you're an external processor, maybe not. But you can do all of these things with BetterHelp.com. So you can be in the same place I am. You can be in a better place than I am. You can improve the way you think and the way you approach situations just by having someone to talk to about it that is not there to judge you, that is available at the send of a text, that you can switch them out if it's not working. If they're not giving you the advice you need, you can just say, hey, BetterHelp, give me someone else, and they'll find you someone else to partner with. Tell you it's an amazing service, and if you tell them we sent you, you're gonna get a discount, because why would we tell you to go if we're not going to hook you up? So go to betterhelp.com/BGEpod and tell them DeMarcus sent you.